Stevens all won their games in the Indian Wells 1000 WTA Masters. And looking at other matches scheduled for today, Bernarda Pera will be up against Marketa Vondrousova, Jelena Ostapenko to battle Angelique Kerber by 8 o'clock tonight. Nuria Parisa Diaz will be up against Anastasia Pafuchenkova as Yulia Putintseva take on Ekaterina Alexandrova, while Anna Boljan battles Dana Schneider. Igor Swiatek will be in action by 10 o'clock tonight against Daniel Collins, while Naho Ibino will be up against Veronika Kudermetova. Last game will see Dona Vekic against Caroline Wozniacki. Not that we won't be talking about the ATP, the guys at the Indian Wells. Well, let's quickly look at the winners here. Alex Michelsen, Thiago Seybold-Wild, Jochen Chong, Arthur Fuse, Fabio Fiornini, Patrick Kipson, Milos Raonic all won their matches in the wee hours of today. Games going down in the ATP category of the Indian Wells. We have Alexander Shevchenko taking on Francisco Cerundolo by 8 o'clock tonight, while Felix Auger-Aliassime will be up against Constance Lestinian. Well, Taro Daniel will take on Alex de Minaur. And the last game of the day will see Nicola Moreno against Luca Klein. Remember, Rafael Nadal had to pull out of the Indian Wells. Yes, saying that he cannot lie to himself, knowing that he's not really fit for the tournament. He had to pull out. The reason the game between Milos Raonic and Rafael Nadal had to be cancelled. Now moving on the show this morning and looking at what more people are really talking about. That is Simona Halep announcing that she will make a return to tennis after more than 17 months at the Miami Open later this month. The former world number one confirmed this via her social media page IG. Now, the 2025 edition of the Lava Cup will be held in San Francisco at the home of the Golden State Warriors. Tournament organizers confirmed on Thursday. It marks the first time the three-day team tournament pitting 6 top men's players from Europe against 6 of their counterparts from the rest of the world will be held on the US West Coast. Next year's Lava Cup, which will mark the 8th edition of the event, co-created by Roger Federer and honoring tennis great Rod Laver, will be held September 19 to 21. Now let's go straight and talk boxing this morning, where Francis Ngannou weighed in more than 20 lbs heavier than Anthony Joshua as heavyweight rivals hit the scales in phenomenal shape during the final face-off ahead of Friday's blockbuster main event in Saudi Arabia. Well, looking at that of Ngannou, well, he's ahead of just his second professional boxing match following October split decision loss to Tyson Fury. And for Anthony Joshua, followed up at a 252.4 lbs to arrive just a pound heavier than in his resounding win over Otto Walling in December. So let's see how it goes in that bout tonight, struck tomorrow morning. And we surely be updating you on the Saturday Sports Safari, the reactions, if it will be Ngannou who may be having his first victory in boxing, most especially coming from another part of sport. Now let's talk about the NBA this morning, where the NBA has announced that the All-Star Game in 2027 will be held in Phoenix. The NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and the Suns owner Matt Ashbar spoke at a news conference in Phoenix yesterday to announce the latest All-Star Weekend location after staging 4 of the last 5 All-Star games in cold weather cities like Indianapolis, Salt Lake City, Cleveland, and Chicago. The next 3 will be located in California and Arizona. Looking at games decided in the wee hours of today in NBA. All right, for games this Saturday, the wee hours of today, Brooklyn Nets lost 112 to 118 points against Detroit Pistons, as Indiana Pacers lost 111 at home against Minnesota Timberwolves, who won by 113 points. Dallas Mavericks defeated Miami Heat 114 to 108 points, while Phoenix Suns defeated Toronto Raptors 120 to 113 points. Boston Celtics lost 109 to 115 points against Denver Nuggets, and the Golden State Warriors failed to win against Chicago Bulls, losing 122 to 125 points. San Antonio Spurs lost on the road against the Sacramento Kings, 129 to 131 points. Hey, remember, guys, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, Solutions 93.9 FM. Search for the station, like, follow, and share. Click those buttons, like, subscribe, share, and follow. Remember, on X, it is at Solutions 93.9 FM. Now, let's look at Solutions 939 FM. Yes, no dots. Solutions 939 FM, Facebook, YouTube, X, same as IG. Now, Minnesota Timberwolves All-Star center Karl Anthony Towns will undergo surgery to repair a torn left meniscus. According to a report we got on Thursday night, he's expected to be back by early in the Western Conference playoffs. Towns will be reevaluated in 4 weeks, but the procedure is expected to give him the opportunity to return sometimes in the early part of the postseason. Now, the Timberwolves, who have won 14 and lost 19, are fighting for the number one seed in the Western Conference, holding onto a half-game lead over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, moving away from that, let's talk Formula One this morning, where Fernando Alonso puts Aston Martins on top of the timesheets for the first time in the new 2024 Formula One season, as a Spaniard and Mercedes George Russell both outpaced Max Verstappen in practice 2 for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Alonso, who finished only 9th at last week's season opening race in Bahrain, had already impressed to go 6 seconds fastest to Verstappen in first practice around high-speed Jeddah Street track before setting the ultra pace on 128.827 seconds in the second session under the floodlights. Okay, now moving away from Formula One this morning, and we'll move to the other side where we talk football. But before talking football, remember the All-African Games, right? Nigeria has been able to amass 3 medals at the ongoing All-African Games, most especially in tennis. And remember, wrestling is already promising Nigeria. That is a sport that we should be focusing on in winning a gold medal. And looking at the medal log, well, remember the tennis team had started the tournament even before other team Nigeria contingent got to the venue right there in Ghana. And well, what we've been monitoring and seeing so far, Egypt is leading the pack with a total of 11 medals comprising 7 gold, 2 silver, and 2 bronze medals, while Morocco is second with a total of 4 medals comprising 2 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze, while Tunisia is third with a total of 5 medals comprising 1 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze medals. Algeria is fourth with a total of 6 medals comprising 2 silver and 4 bronze. Nigeria is placed fifth with a total of 3 medals comprising 1 silver and 2 bronze medals. Senegal is 6th, Libya 7th, Burkina Faso is 9th, Burkina Faso is 8th, Republic of Congo is 9th, Chad is 10th, tied with Cameroon and South Africa. So, well, wishing Team Nigeria all the best, and most especially in Ghana. But hey, something that may look like Nigeria is treading on the path. We may not be picking the gold And the football event of the All African Games will be talked about on the other side of the show. Remember, it is still Kickoff Sports Show, live on Solutions 939 FM. Let's still celebrate women on the other side. Timmy Dakolo, This Woman, featuring Fino, Falls, Kobams, Suko, Black Jays.
Baby, one ramo. They go cast around the whole place. I love this woman. I love this woman. She's my happy place. My pearls from heaven's gates. When she roll her waist, no one can take her place. I love this woman. I love this woman. She's my happy place. My pearls from heaven's gates. When I hold her waist, no one can take her place. Can one woman being be so perfect? She know she bad and she bold. She dey show talent. Someone that's supposed to be a beauty pageant. Person with sophisticate, my taste palette. Wait, first, colleague Jabbo. Me, I got your back, I'm a chiropractor. Picture in my eyes, I was a capture. I'm a baby too fine, why I no go shack up? Am I not a champion? What I never plan for. When you went at my wall, she I no go thank God, my God. I love this woman. I love this woman. She's my happy place. My pearls from heaven's gates. When she roll her waist, no one can take her place. I love this woman. I love this woman. She's my happy place. My pearls from heaven's gates. When I hold her waist, usually I don't.
Okay, shout out to Toby Amusa, shout out to Asisa Toshola, shout out to Adwaya Dekoroye, Olufuke Oshonaike, Esther Oyema, shout out to athletes making Nigeria proud and hoisting a flag at a different sports event. Shout out to Favor Philly, Inkechi Akashali, shout out to Ese Brume, shout out to Tima, God bless, Chima Onyenkwere, Chiamaka Nadozie, shout out to you, shout out to every women athletes right there. Hey, we'll move to the other side. Well, remember, Zera Paranos has already called it quit from football, but hey, we still say shout out to you. Now, move to the other side where we talk football.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying YouTube made for you.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Okay, welcome back to Kickoff Sports Show, live on Solutions 939 FM. Check your time right now. It is 9:16. My name is Oladako Kunubi. Now, talking about the All African Games. Remember, I told you earlier that Nigeria may be threading on that part of not getting a gold medal at the football event of the Continental sport tournament. Well, Nigeria's Flying Eagles lost 2-1 to Uganda in the Group B opening game of the African Games inside the Accra Sports Stadium in Ghana on Thursday night. A let go by Ivan Irin Bambasi gave the Ugandans a perfect start to the game. So remember, Nigeria still got 2 games to go, and let us hope that these boys can win the games and get to the next round and even surprise all of us. Remember how Ivory Coast did it at the Africa Cup of Nations, right? Yes, if you believe in miracle, it can happen. But just have to score the goals. Okay, now former Nigerian international Vincent Enyama has expressed his readiness to be part of the Super Eagles coaching crew if he is offered the job. Recall the 41-year-old announced his shock retirement in 2015 after making over 100 appearances for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And remember, it was due to altercation he had with former coach Sunday Olise. But saying that if Zinedine Zidane could not have a coaching license and the Real Madrid board could give him the support, so anytime Nigeria calls on him to, or the NFF calls on him to come coach the goalkeepers or take over the goalkeeper coaching role in the Super Eagles, he will surely jump on the offer. But sometimes I'll just say, hey man, go for the certificate, go all out, maybe coach an African club side, then people can give you that respect to bring you home. But now moving away from that, let's talk about Nigeria Premier Football League games going down this weekend. It is going to be a tough one, as we'll be seeing games at different sides and seeing teams go all the way to pick points. Okay, so one game is going down today. That is Bendel Insurance versus Gombe United. And looking at games going down for this weekend, Heartland FC of Owerri will be in action tomorrow against Katina United, while Bayelsa United battles United Tornadoes. Kano Pillars will be up against Rivers United as Plateau United travels to play Sunshine Stars of Akure. And on Sunday, Abia Warriors will take on Lobby Stars as Enugu Rangers will be up against Kwara United. Enyimba International hosts Doma United as Shooting Stars will be up against Aqua United. The last game of the weekend on Sunday, 4 o'clock, we see Remo Stars travel to play Neighbours Sporting Lagos. Well, one has to be my ex-team and one is my new team. What do you expect me to do? Let me just support my new team, Sporting Lagos, Sporting all the way. Now, moving away from the Nigeria Premier Football League games going down this weekend, let's go straight and look at the Europa League result and what some managers said, most especially Unai Emery, who saw his side go and record a barren draw yesterday. However, for West Ham United, it was a difficult one, losing against Freiburg. All right, talking about the Europa League result of games decided yesterday in the round of 16. The likes of AS Roma, Liverpool scoring a lot of goals in the first leg. Well, remember Liverpool was on the road against the Czech Republic side, Spartak Prague, scoring 5-1 against their opponents. AS Roma defeating Brighton and Hove Albion 4-0, and Bayer Leverkusen Karabakh played out 2-0 draw. AC Milan defeating Slavia Praha 4-2 with a man sent off in Slavia's team. Benfica played out a 2-0 draw, and Freiburg defeated West Ham United 1-0. Marseille defeated Villarreal 4-0, a 10-man Villarreal in that one. Now, moving on and looking at another European game, and it was, Ajax and Aston Villa playing out a goalless draw in the Europa Conference League. And for the coach of Aston Villa, Unai Emery, believes that it was a difficult game, but they go once again.
The same reflection I told you yesterday, always is very difficult in Europe. and play away. Here, you see, like me, the atmosphere they have here, great atmosphere with their supporters. Of course, they are as well our supporters, 2,600, I think. And it was a very high level match. And we are taking experiences in Europe. And of course, we can feel a little bit, or they can feel we are favorite. But it's very difficult. And if you are showing another matches in your league or even in Champions League or even in conference, you can watch some big surprises as well. And I am happy. Not because we didn't play well, we didn't control of the game like we.
Oh, Aston Villa manager, Emery speaking there after a goalless encounter. 10 players ended a game each for the two sides. Now, Molde, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Lille, Dinamo Zagreb, Fiorentina, Fenerbahce all won their games. Servette and Victoria Pleasant played out a goalless encounter. Well, so most of these teams will go back to their leagues and focus on games, fast approaching. Now, let's start with games going down in the French League on. One game is going down tonight, that is Nice versus Montpellier. But for other fixtures,
hostilities continue in the French League on match day 25 this weekend, with Nice hosting relegation threatened Montpellier in a Friday night clash at the Allianz Riviera. On Saturday, Lorient tackles Lyon, while second-placed West will be the guest of Lens at the Stade Bollard de l'Elysée. On Sunday, champions PSG at the Parc des Princes await Reims. Le Havre face Toulouse, Clermont battle Metz in an away encounter. Strasbourg awaits former champions Monaco at the Stade de la Mino, while Lille tackles Rennes and Marseille trade tackles with Nantes.
So there's a big battle between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Erling Haaland. I mean, battle of words about, maybe money, won titles for Manchester City, but it was hard work for Liverpool. But hey, Manchester City striker Erling Haaland has responded to Trent Alexander-Arnold claim that Liverpool's trophies mean more than City's, saying the defender doesn't know what it feels like to win the treble. But are we going to be expecting the battle on the field of play? However, for Mikel Arteta, who's Arsenal's manager, has also been talking ahead of the game going down this weekend against the Brentford at the Emirates Stadium. They've been scoring a lot of goals. Can that continue? But he made it clear that the game against Brentford will also be difficult.
At every point that we left this season, it hurts, and obviously it's still there, and that's it. But we have a lot to play for. We know the difficulty of the match is always really tough. We played them twice already, and we suffer, and we always suffer against Brentford. And on Saturday, I expect a very similar match. And that's the only thing we can control, and perform well, and play better than them, and earn the right to win the game. And let's do that. And if we do that on Sunday, it's a beautiful game to watch for any football supporter, and I will certainly be watching it.
Manchester United will hope to bounce back from the derby defeat when they host Everton at the Old Trafford on Saturday afternoon, Week 28 kickoff clash. Bournemouth will face relegation-bound Sheffield United, while Luton travels to play Crystal Palace. Also on Saturday, Wolves will battle resurgent Fulham, while high-scoring Arsenal will hope to breeze past Brentford when both teams face off at the Emirates Stadium. On Sunday, at the Villa Park, Tottenham Hotspur will be seeking 3 points against United Emery's Aston Villa. Brighton battles Nottingham Forest at home. Burnley will be the guest of West Ham United as the Super Sunday clash will see league leaders Liverpool take on rivals Manchester City at the Anfield in a fight of the 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Monday night's football clash at the Stamford Bridge will see Chelsea host Newcastle United.
28 games of Italian Serie A start on Friday night with Victor Osimhen's Napoli hosting Torino at Diego Maradona Stadium. On Saturday, Cagliari will face guest Salernitana. Sassuolo will tackle Frosinone. Bologna will be facing an uphill task when they host runaway leaders Inter Milan at Stadio Renato Gallara, while Genoa take on Monza. On Sunday, Lecce will host Verona. Former champions AC Milan will be up against Empoli at San Siro, while second place Juventus straight tackles with Ademola Lookman's Atlanta, and AS Roma travels to play Fiorentina. Meanwhile, Monday Night Football in Italy will see a clash of Lazio and Udinese take center stage at Stadio Olimpico.
In some of the match day 25 games scheduled for this weekend in the German Top Flight Football League, Augsburg will take on Heidenheim, Borussia Mönchengladbach hosts FC Köln, Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena will face Mainz as RB Leipzig take on Darmstadt, and Werder Bremen host Borussia Dortmund. On Sunday, Freiburg will be the guest of Bochum, Hoffenheim visit Eintracht Frankfurt at the Deutsche Bank Park, while leaders Bayern Leverkusen await Wolfsburg at the Bay Arena.
Okay, 9:29. We'll move to the other side of the show this morning. Shout out to engineer Ogutowo Muniru and Muniru Omo Momsi Hajao watching live on Facebook. Well, we'll move to the other side this morning. Well, look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers from the dailies and check the burning issue. Also celebrate more women on the show this morning. My name is Oladapo Kunubi to talk more sports, more music. Well, on Saturday Sports Safari, we'll be live here starting 1 p.m. Dotman, my woman. Do not go anywhere.
That's man Kuraja. I'm to carry, I'm to she got the confidence, go to Kimberua. She dey make me feel like a day heaven, yeah. She know it's my low, she be a level. I go carry my woman, we go fly away. Because when money no day, now my woman day. Yeah. I go show you I love you every night and day. Sure. I am lucky to have you as my woman, yeah. Baba my genji, yeah, my genji show. In the road, told you, yeah, want me, yeah, can show me a bell. Call mama for ya, oh, your beauty, no be surgery, now so God create you. Anybody say you no be the finest, I swear them they hate you. It's your beauty, do me something forever, I let you. Anybody say you no be the finest, I swear them they hate you. Oh baby girl, I'm glad you good to be your lover. Nobody feel nobody like check up body lover. Oh baby girl, I'm into you so dope, I'm your lover. Nobody feel nobody like check up body lover.
939 is the dial.
record from one of the strongest female voices in Nigeria and across the globe, Waje, with the song Strong Girl, in commemoration of the International Women's Day, as we celebrate every strong, independent, and inspirational Black woman. Happy International Women's Day to all the beautiful women out there. Welcome to the last edition of From the Dailies, where we'll look through the front pages of our Nigerian newspapers as we celebrate women as well. My name is Victory Onyedikachi.
I will always appreciate all the women in my life. And, also the woman on the show, Fiwo Olorutola. The woman heading the station, Fumi Chima. And who's that woman again? Who's that woman?
Tayo, we celebrate
Yes,
you.
we celebrate you.
Adufair,
Day, we celebrate you. Yes, I mean, rushing from home to take Ibelni.
All the incredible women.
Yes, all the women. Yes, Tosin. Tosin, Jennifer. Yes, Mommy Precious. Yeah, Bidemi. Oh, you guys, congratulations. Happy International Women's Day. All right, well, this morning I will be looking at the front page of The Punch and the Nation newspapers.
All right, I'll be taking stories from the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper. Be reminded that we're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939 FM. So do well to jump in on the platform and react to stories that are of interest to you. Alright, let's start off with the Vanguard newspaper this morning with business stories. CBN to sanction DFIs, PMBs, MFBS over late submission of returns. Edo Guba, women, youths want suspension of Schwaibu's impeachment process. You left me with enormous shoes to fill, Wigwe's daughter. Habeth Wigwe's death lost to Africa, Shibajo. Reps to review 2024 budget demands assessment of current exchange rate. Now to the biggest story on the Vanguard paper, minimum wage, NLC TUC split, want different pay in zones. This is a developing stories that we're seeing. These are developing stories we're seeing regarding the NLC and TUC, not being in agreement. Bandits invade Kaduna school, kidnap over 200 pupils, teachers. New satellite pay TV will give Nigerians value for their money. Federal government, DSTV is in trouble. Finally, in sport, AG versus Ngannou, it's Judgment Day in Ryder. These are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard paper.
Okay, so for Anthony Joshua, I think he knows how to win in Saudi Arabia, so I wish him all the best against Ngannou. But if you look at that Ngannou's bout against Tyson Fury, a lot of people feel like maybe because Ngannou doesn't understand the boxing psyche. But hey, let's go straight to the Punch newspaper this morning and looking at the carpet lines. Tinubu suspends REA boss, directors over alleged 1.2 billion naira fraud. The next carpet line here says reps demand 2024 budget review over forex crisis. Wigwe's philanthropy, dedication to gospel exemplary. Adeboye. The banner headline from the Punch newspaper this morning says outrage as bandits kidnap 280 pupils from Kaduna schools. Two writers to that headline. Teacher says gunmen invaded primary secondary schools after morning assembly. Kidnapped over 280 pupils, workers. Government visits schools. Governor visits schools, promises pupils a rescue. JNI, PTA, Amnesty International condemned attack. You can see the front page picture of that particular area and school. Well, recover 5 trillion naira unremitted MDA taxes. Reps tells FIRS. Kaduna plane crash. Pilot escaped death. Air chief orders probe. Last headline here. Minimum wage. Workers DFAR. Governors want revenue sharing reviewed. This and more you can find from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Now, away from that paper, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune with the banner headline that reads, Bandits invade Kaduna school, 280 pupils missing, feared abducted. Ensure safe return of abducted pupils, reps tells security agencies. Alleged 1.2 billion naira misappropriation, Tinubu suspends REAMD, appoints Adelabu's running mate, non-executive director. Armed robbers attacked 2 banks in Kogi. Increasing rate of poverty, hunger in Nigeria worrisome. JNI Khan are speaking in that regard. Under Guba, no decision yet on zoning. Labour differs on appropriation of new minimum wage for workers. Southwest NLC proposes 794,000. TUC 497,000. OPS appeals for understanding. Southeast NLC TUC proposes 554,000. 447,000. I mean, different states and different zones
Different
with their
zones, yeah, different zones with their
figures and numbers. It's just crazy what's happening.
You know, I mean, on the show, I will be asking, Comrade Ayodeji Adishokwe, is this not a way of saying maybe the federal government wants a confusion, then the federal government now says, okay, this is what we can afford. So if a particular zone is saying this is what we want, I mean, if you look at the demand from the northern side of Nigeria, some they are even requesting below 400, and I think around 700 was coming from the southwestern part, and even a particular zone or two, the governors did not even go to that negotiation, the tripartite committee. But we look at that in the course of the show. But let's go straight to the Nation newspaper this morning and quickly read through this particular newspaper, the front page. APC draws a battle line with governor over 16 lawmakers. And, well, we have to also look at some of the headlines here. States rejects Labour's new minimum wage demand. Algon tackles states over Paris Club reformed orders. How 287 were abducted in Kaduna schools by teacher. Orasoye panel team takes off. Okay, so if you want more and look at some of this other headlines here, forensic expert forged signatures used to steal $6.2 million from CBN. I take that headline again. Forensic expert forged signatures used to steal $6.2 million from CBN. Okay. SEC moves to get unclaimed 190 billion naira dividends to owners. Federal government backs new cable television SRTV. We hope it won't be like the one they introduced some years ago, and we can't say anything about it. But so, technical faults delay students' loan takeoff. All right. We move to the other side of the show this morning, where we go to the burning issue this morning. So you were talking about the demand of the labor unions, and here, remember the front page of the Nation. You took that of a Tribune. States rejects labor's new minimum wage demand. Federal government promises fair, sustainable salaries, and that was also what the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, what he said yesterday. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for Economy while in the Southwestern Zone, saying, well, after that, the Southwestern part of the NLC demanded 794,000 naira as a new national minimum wage for workers in the Southwest geopolitical zone. Let's listen to the minister. When we return, we have Comrade Ayodeji Adishokwe join us from that end.
Inflation there has been depreciation of the currency, prices have gone up, and a new national minimum wage is well deserved and it is definitely due. And the actual figure will be as a function of a negotiation process. That's why we're going through this process. The NLC have come up with a figure, but it's not a one-sided matter. And I think when we look at all the various indices, including affordability and including sustainability, we will come out with a figure that meets those two criteria while doing the very best to give the workers a living wage, to give the workers a fair wage within the context of what Nigeria is today. Most important of all is that alongside an increase in wages and salaries and even pensions is increase in productivity.
Okay, that was the Minister for Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Mr. Wale Edo, speaking yesterday. Well, we have a Comrade Ayode Jadishokwe with us this morning, and thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
All right.
Muslim people.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you have to move closer to your phone, Comrade, if you can hear us clearly. Okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah, yes. Sounded better, but we believe it will surely improve in the course of the program. So, when they say that when things fall apart, the center will not hold. But let us look at this, the zonal meetings, the tripartite committee set up by the federal government. Is this not a way of saying, okay, maybe till December, we may not get to the final decision of knowing the final new minimum wage for civil servants in the nation, with what we got from different zones yesterday? TUC, coming up with theirs, NLC coming up with theirs, and this is not a pre-planned work to destabilize the organized labor. Hello, comrade, are you there?
Well, I'm sure Comrade is trying to get his thoughts together. We're having quite a challenge connecting with him, but I guess we'll reconnect with him for that conversation as we talk about, the disagreement that we're seeing between the labor unions, the NLC and the TUC. For all is what they are supposed to be in unison regarding their demands to the federal government. So how would their demands be achievable if their house is not in order? And now there's a request from different zones as to what the new minimum wage would be. As I did a recount, as I read the papers, we saw from different zones, southwest, southeast, with different figures. So one is wondering, how will the federal government handle this, since there's some form of disunity among the unions? But I guess we're going to find out at the cost of, the different meetings they'll be having with the federal government. Even an agreement or an arrangement would be rich. But you know who is suffering right now? The civil servant. Because, 1 minute their hope is elevated and the next minute it's deflated as they don't have a stand with the current situation. But we'll find out with more analysis from Comrade Ayode. We're glad to have you join us back. Comrade, can you hear us?
It's a pleasure too.
All right.
So Comrade, while we were discussing, what we were talking about, the what came out of different meetings and different zones yesterday, it looked like maybe there's a plan from somewhere to just destabilize an organized labor. What do you think about this?
I think it may not be so. It is unlikely. You see, if you are speaking from Lagos, it is different from the perception of the South will be different. The cost of living allowance in the Southwest. Take out Lagos, Ibadan, Oshogbo. In fact, you have to lump Ogun State with Lagos because cost of living allowance in Ogun State, it may not be as high as Lagos, but it is higher than Oyo and Osun. So, each and everyone is picking from their location, the perspective, what obtains in their location. It is not discordant tune. Look, let me take us back in time. When Nigeria was in Second Republic, is it the First Republic? First Republic, before the military came, each region was saying according to what they deemed fit. There was no national minimum wage. You understand? And when they actually say there is a national minimum wage, it does not mean that everybody will not be paying that minimum. Lagos is paying above minimum. Before the wage award, Lagos had done a 30% increase, and they paid arrears, and they were doing higher than anybody else before. What other states are you? Oh yeah, look, people are working from the answer to the question regarding the minimum wage. When they say minimum wage is 30,000, it means that the basic should be 30,000. But what our governors are doing is that they will work 30,000 as the minimum wage, and then they will not do the percentages of allowance and deduct it, and it will end up to be like 18, 19, or less than that 20,000 minimum wage. But it is the total package that they are presenting as minimum wage. Allowances is not part of the basic, you know. So people are just deceiving themselves. Some say they cannot even pay. You understand? So people are talking from different perspectives. Look at even the labor. Some labor in the South said 885. You know, some said for something. You know, TUC is saying one thing, NLC is saying another. But it does not mean discordant things. Certainly not. Certainly not. Everybody is talking from their perspective. And it is good that the committee is working on geopolitical zones, not just lumping everybody together. You understand?
Okay, so with this, we should be. I mean, with what Wale Adu said yesterday, there's still going to be more negotiations. They still have to sit back on the table and see what happens. But I mean, to a layman, for a layman to really understand what this looks like you've explained. But if it is more about, misunderstanding between the Nigerian Labour Union, the TUC, maybe we're having another union come up very soon. Remember what happened last year in the ASU strike.
If there's a need, let it come up. Look, let me give you a scenario. In the tertiary institution, there is NASU, there is SANU, there is ASU. You understand? They represent clearly different and distinct interests, and you now force all of them together on one umbrella. I will start calling them tertiary institutions union. You understand? They have different divergent interests. Let everybody pursue their own interests. You understand? And then you can harmonize views. These are rational, logical people. You can sit down and harmonize views. We are human beings. We are rational people. So it is not, there's no divergence. Everybody's speaking from their own perspective. I think that's just it.
All right, fair enough. Let's now talk about insecurity. The spate of insecurity in the northern part of the country is becoming really worrisome, as we saw a report of over 280 pupils kidnapped yesterday, some feared missing and abducted. I was monitoring the incident, and I was seeing, some reports and theories on social medias. As some Nigerians have speculated that how many can these bandits, how many of them, to kidnap 280 people and no alarm was raised? Even though it happened at midnight, I did see that it happened around 11 to 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm just wondering, 280 people, nobody could, call anyone. I'm speaking based off, what I've read. Nobody could put a phone call through. Of course, you might want to ask me, put a phone call through to who? The Nigerian police?
Maybe there was no gunshots. Maybe there was no gunshots during the kidnapping. I mean, maybe if there was gunshots, maybe the security, personnel might have been aware to also rescue the situation.
So my question, bottom line, is how do they carry out their duty so diligently and so smoothly,
so smooth,
without any interruptions whatsoever? 280 is a large number.
You see, when we started this conversation, the service was disrupted. I am still in Ibadan. I had to turn back. In Ibadan, heading towards the rail line, not the rail station. I had to turn back, move like a kilometer or two back to where service is very active. I am talking of Ibadan. Ibadan. This place is Ibadan. It is not outskirts of Ibadan. You understand? Just after Akufo, something like that. Now, if I now go further, what is it that people cannot do there and they will get away with it? No service, no food, no signals, no nothing. Look, 1 million square kilometers of this landmass. If you have ever been to the north, you would drive tens of kilometers and you won't see nothing. You are not going to see anything whatsoever. And then where are the policemen? Because you live in Ibadan, Abi, and there's one police station in Bodija, and then there's one in Okado, and then there's another one in Malete. Look, if you go to far-flung places, or you go to the riverine areas, where are you going to? The so-called police in riverine areas, you don't have boats. You don't have boats. The riverine areas of Nigeria. How many does the state command of Bayelsa? How many boats, flying boats, or street boats does the riverine state of Bayelsa and rivers and cross rivers? How many do they have? How many boats do they have? The police. You understand? So these are secure. We are not. You see, the issue of security for a long time, we have not been exposed, has not been prepared. And it points to the central command and the central structure of our policing system. If I know this area is under my charge, under my watch, I am fully responsible, then I know I am fully responsible. I will take necessary action. But the IGP can say the governors are irresponsible. The governor can say the police commissioner is not doing his job very well. There is room for buck passing. We have to face the insecurity thing can cripple and may cripple Nigeria. Look, those people are exploiting it. People are exploiting it. And it is so easy to exploit. Somebody told me a year or two back, he says, you don't need an office. All you need is an AK-47 and you are in business. What kind of business are you going to be with AK-47 in the South? Of course, kidnapping and the rest of it. It is profitable. Look, crime pays. Let me tell you, crime pays. There's no job, there's no transaction that pays like crime in the world. You know that. Crime pays. And it pays so well in an environment in which the probability of getting caught is almost nil. The only thing that stops people from committing crime is they will be discovered and they will be caught and they will be penalized. That is the only thing that deters people from crime. But if I know I can commit crime and melt into the area, two of the people that were declared wanted during the coup of 1976 when Murtala Mohammed was killed, they were never found. For years, the advert was in the newspapers every day. They were never found. Eventually, about 10 years ago, it was said that they were pardoned. Can you imagine? They disappeared into thin air.
So it's a functionality of not having enough security placement in the northern part of the country. I grew up in the north, so I understand, your perspective about, how police stations, for instance, can be very far off from each other. So is that a way to curb, the insecurity we're seeing in the northern part of the country? Are there other mediums to which the federal government must put in place? Because this is consistently happening in the northern part, as opposed to other regions. We're not praying for such a thing, but it's very peculiar to the north.
They call the landmass, sprawling landmass. You cannot put boots on ground to police that landmass. You got to deploy electronic means. And when I heard the immigration saying they are going to be policing Nigeria borders with electronic surveillance, I said to myself, are these guys serious? In 2023, they are announcing to the whole world. For God's sake, Geo information system is available all over the place. You can just zoom and run your electronic eyes over 1,000-kilometer border in less than 5 minutes. You know, real time, I mean, real time. You run your electronic eyes over a 1,000-kilometer border in, let's even give it 30 minutes. If you do 1,000 kilometers in 30 minutes, for God's sake, if you run back and forth in 30 minutes, you are going to catch whatever is happening, and then you inform people on ground, and then they mobilize to specific locations. You will be zooming in on latitude, longitude, and giving coordinates for the people on ground. But do we have electronic eyes? Do we have them? Do we have electronic eyes in space? Do we have them? Do we have them? And if we have them, are we deploying them? Are we deploying them? You know, and if we don't have directly, why don't you cooperate with those who have? Some people are watching us. You know, that's the funny thing. Some people have all this information that we don't have. They do. When the Chibok girls were abducted, the Americans were watching what was happening, and they offered to intervene. And when they said they were going to do this and that, it was people within the security agencies that went to inform the Boko Haram. And then when the Americans zoomed in on the Boko Haram people again, a few days after, they saw that they were wearing gas masks because they said they were going to gas test. And Nigerian security agents have supplied Boko Haram with the information. What else? What else?
Okay.
What else?
All right. But let's just be hopeful.
Then America commits its troops into such a situation and go and compromise their nationals.
Obviously not.
All our problems are self-inflicted.
All right. Let's move on. Another problem that Nigeria is facing, which is obvious, is the electricity, or we call it the power problem. Well, for the past few days, the minister has been dragging the discos, dragging different agencies. But yesterday, Mr. President suspended the managing director, CEO of the Rural Electrification Agency, REA, Ahmad Salih Hijo Ahmad. And, according to reports, the president also suspended 3 executive directors of the agency. Are we treading on the right part to say power will, come back better and stronger? Most especially, maybe the steps taken by the minister. Although some people said the minister must go because you're putting a round peg in a square hole.
The minister must go. What is his offense? The issue is that we have to look at things holistically rather than this knee-jerk reaction. Rural Electrification Agency. And what is our plan? You understand? What is the power plan? One man that was nominated for ministerial position, that one that the former Kaduna State Governor, he was nominated and he was specifically to go and take charge of power. Before even the man was nominated and went for screening, he had diligently developed a plan. He developed a 7-year plan for Nigeria to develop a self-sustaining, power structure. Tragically, the man never got the position because they knew that if the man got the position and he performed, that meant he was going to be, in a position to demand to succeed the president. Because anybody that succeeds in power, and El Rufai, for who he is, he will step on toes, he will kick people's asses and kick their eyes out. And of course, he's a northerner, so he can kick people's asses and all of that. But those who thought him to be a political threat, make sure that he never got that position. Politics above nation. What is the power plan? The minister is going back and forth. Remove subsidy. No, subsidy is not sustainable. Agreed. But how do we arrive? Is it subsidy you are going to remove first? Let us know what is the power plan and what are the strategies. What is the timelines? What are the deliverables? What are the discos doing? What are the terms of giving them, concessions for those discos? Who bought the discos? Did they at that material time have the competence? Why are the service providers in telecoms performing? Why didn't you just bring in foreigners? You understand? bringing foreigners, that will perform. You understand? Like all these, like all these people that are performing now, including the local ones. Why is it distribution? The Gencos are performing. Professor Batlangi that just did the one in Anambra, is it Imo or Anambra? Anambra. Now, where Ecclesia was governor, Professor Batlangi was minister of power. They frustrated the man out of office during Obasanjo's regime because the man was going to find solutions to Nigeria's power problem. We have to confront what are our fears, our challenges, holistically and honestly. I was at a book launch yesterday in honor of Dr. Yemi Farumbi, and the man said 2 things he wanted us to take away. That Nigeria's challenges are the defective structure on which it currently stands, that it cannot continue to be sustained in this manner and this fashion. If our leaders like, let them confront our challenge. Let us, they know exactly, they don't know. But the considerations of second term, considerations of politics, considerations of ethnicity, considerations of religion override the consideration of Nigeria as a nation. And let me tell you, the elite in this country, the elite, in any country, the elite, what they call elite consensus, it is the elite that will determine the conversations, the engagements and conversations that go on. And it is those engagements and conversations that determine and shape the direction a nation will go in development-wise. What is the elite consensus in Nigeria? The elite consensus is state capture. Nigerian state has been captured by the elite. You look around you, it has been captured. And if they think this state capture is sustainable, history is replete with states that were captured by the elite and what eventually happened to the elite. Let them go on and let them think it is sustainable. But the tragedy is that you and I, my country brother, the people around you, your neighbors, when you wear in the morning and wear a suit and a tie, you are bouncing and comrade victory. When you wear your regalia, you put your necklace and you are glowing. They think you are illegal. They think you are illegal. So when there is a breakdown in law and order, you and I are the first people that the hungry ones will reach out for. So
no wonder I've been getting all these messages. Please, we're all poor and vulnerable, according to the government.
Poor of the poorest. Poor of the poorest. We are the same shoes.
Oh my goodness! But the River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara yesterday made quite an audacious statement, and he said there's no sacrifice too big for him to make for the peace and stability of the people of Rivers State, even if it requires him to resign his position as the governor, And some people have said that statement is just a political statement and holds no water. But, watching and reading the speech, you might want to think that is coming from, his innermost part. And I'm just here wondering if we're going to have a history where first time, I do believe I'm correct, we're having a governor resign his position because he wants the people to enjoy democracy. What do you make out of such a statement?
Number one, we are not in a democracy. We are
comrade.
Under civil rule. We are not in a democracy. People think democracy is an event. It is not. It is a journey. We're coming from, so that settles that. Let me not say anything again. For Fubara, you see, is a very simple-minded fellow. Just like Jonathan. You see the way Jonathan conducts himself, the way he talks. When Jonathan said something like, stealing is not corruption, simple-minded talk coming from his heart. You understand? He didn't process it. The man is saying what is coming from his heart. But now, you are Fubara, Comrade Victory.
Yes.
You are Fubara. I am your chief of staff. And people, you have a wife beside you. And then you tell your wife when you are in bed overnight, you say you are going to resign tomorrow. Or you have drafted the letter. And you show your wife. We have allowed you to resign. First lady first lady of Rivers State, and then the siren, and the first lady, and the guy, and then me.
And she doesn't have an office that is recognized by the Constitution. Why should she be a hold up to my?
And then me, chief of staff, and then me, special advisor.
Oh my goodness!
You don't know how people enjoy when they are in office. In one particular state, which I knew a few people, in this Nigeria, I would drive to the pool where the government vehicles are, and where they have their fuel dump. I will collect. I'm not government official. I will drive to the pool. I will collect a full tank of PMS on Friday, and when I come back Monday, I will drive to that pool again and collect fuel. Me on the fringes, so I'm not even part of government, so just because of course I have little access. And the man is talking from his heart. The man is very simple, but and look, even if he now resigns, what good will that serve?
I guess that is the
Rivers
question.
State?
Exactly.
If a man that can say he will resign, if that man can say repeatedly he can resign, that gives us an insight into the man's heart. Those are the people that we should keep in office. Not a do or die man. Those are the people we should keep in office and support.
Okay, now, comrade, we are talking more of the men in the political. Some people call it political industry, but it's political spheres of this nation. Today's International Women's Day, and I kept searching the total number of women in the Senate, or let's say the total number of women in the National Assembly, and maybe, I mean, we almost had a female governor that should be in was this Atiku's state, Adamawa state, Binani. And, you know, in those states, in the primaries of PDP, a woman stepped down. And you look at the way women, their activities in Nigeria's political sector. When are we going to have a politically or a democratically elected female governor? And when are we going to have a balance in the National Assembly where we have more women at the Senate and the House of Rep, including State House of Assembly?
Well, first and foremost, let me salute women worldwide. But specifically coming home, let me salute our women. I have only female siblings, and I know the value. I have also a mother, and I know the value they add to society. Their sacrifices, the way women multitask, and successfully so, juggling homes, juggling raising children, juggling their careers, juggling maybe service to God, and all of that. And then they still succeed. I salute our women, the corporate world, and in every sphere of endeavor they are. And especially in this crushing economic environment in which we operate. They are still creative enough, you know, to make provision in spite of what they are offered to work with. Yes, coming to the political landscape, when the United States, that has been independent since 1776, it was only a few years back that they had a female presidential candidate. Over 3 centuries of democracy. And I mean democracy, not civil rule. How many states have female governors? Major states in the United States, how many of them have had female governors? How many major cities in New York have had female mayors and all of that? Except in Europe, that's where we have had that. It is Europe. It is in Europe that we have had, you know, leading female, you know, heading nation. Germany, we had Margaret Thatcher, you know, we had all of them. Europe, America, North America, United States, South America, we have not had anything. You cannot even expect from South America anyway. So, believe you me, our women have been a part of politics as grassroots. They are the pillars behind successful politicians. Just look around. There it is the women. It is sad enough that, however, when sharing of position from the one they call juicy. I don't know how positions can be juicy. What kind of juice is squeezed out of it. It is then that women should sit down. That is when they say women should sit down. You know? It is not nice. But you see, Tinubu, the president, said, power is not served a la carte. Power is not served a la carte. Even when the man was saying it was my turn, he didn't sit down. You understand? He was boxing, kicking, headbutting them. And he was saying it was my turn. He was not really saying it was my turn. He was doing the needful to ensure that that turn of his was actually his turn. So that is the reality of politics. Power is not served a la carte. People snatch it. People fight for it. People maneuver, manipulate.
So women are not ready to snatch the power.
Not many. Not, you know now. Not many. Not many. But the few that are ready, some are lucky. But the few that are ready, when they are ready, they go for it. And they do everything and anything. And you know when women want to engage, they will do more than men can do. Because men will listen to them when they deploy, all sorts of weapons that women naturally are endowed with.
Okay. Maybe on Monday you will tell us the ammunitions and the weapons women use. But we'd like to say a very big thank you to you, Comrade Adedi Ajishokwe, for joining us on the program this morning and the last edition for the week. And we hope to have you on Monday.
It's always a pleasure. I enjoy the vibes on this platform. God bless you all.
Bless you.
And God bless our union.
Yes.
And God bless, our station.
All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, we'll pay some bills right now. We'll be back to draw the curtains.
The drama, the suspense, the emotions, the gang moments. Don't miss out on Nollywood movies and web series on YouTube with the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN. You can enjoy over 10 hours of Nollywood content made for you. Sharply dial *312*800# to activate the YouTube Buffet plan from MTN and start enjoying. YouTube made for you.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, torn uniforms, and dirty shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them the new and improved Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Okay, so let me make another shout out to another woman here. She's a woman, right? Who's also pulling her weight and making sure that she can also get the instrument to use. That is Priscilla Olowoyoton. She's one of the women here at Solutions 93.9 FM, pulling the strings and making things better. Happy International Women's Day to you.
Happy International Women's Day to all the women, representing, husbands, sons, and the world in general. We celebrate you. We celebrate your visionary self. We celebrate your... And the theme for this year, by the way, is inclusion. the inclusivity of women in different sectors. That's the campaign, the International Women's Day are pursuing this year, which would mean that we want to see women in different sectors and different industries, taking over. We've seen women in politics. They've done well. We've seen women as activists. Aisha Yusufu, for instance, we've seen, the mileage that has, given other women to speak, about what is due to them. We've seen women in sports. Asisat Oshoala. Yes, we've seen the incredible feats that she has consistently achieved over the years, and we celebrate that. We've seen women in music doing and getting international recognitions, the likes of Thames, Tiwa Savage, and a host of other amazing Nigerian artists doing massively well as well. We've seen women in Nollywood, Mo Abudo, conquering the world of film, not just in Nigeria or Africa, but across the globe. We've seen Netflix paying huge amount, for her project, her current film that is also coming out. We've seen women win in different sectors, and we want to say that we see your resilience, we see your commitment, we see your drive, we see your enthusiasms, and we appreciate it. The world is nothing without women in it. The existence of men, as a matter of fact, is as a result of a woman going into that labor room and birthing a child. So we want to appreciate every woman who is listening to us right now. We're saying thank you for consistently overturning the narrative of what a woman can be and what a woman can do. Happy International Day to all the women globally.
All right, looking at the time right now, it is 10:20, and we'll have to pack our bags, right, and leave the studio and make a return on Monday. Well, my name is Oladakbo Okunobi.
All right, my name is Victor Nyedikachi. Good morning to you.